Yo, yo, yo. It's the Tom Joyner Morning Show. Well, not exactly. Um, it's the internet's favorite fake uncle coming to you live and direct. Just a quick PSA for all of you funny guys in the room. I am not Papoose, nor am I Lawrence Fishburne, nor am I half of EDP, whatever the F that's supposed to mean, nor am I Black Anthony Fantano, nor am I Jay-Z. I don't even know how you niggas got that one, but anyway, I digress. I wanted to rap with y'all a little bit about this here Tyler the Creator thing, man. So for those of y'all who aren't aware because you're not terminally online, honestly, I ain't even know that this was a thing until I had seen the homie FD talk about it. So as y'all are well aware, our shining black prince, D'Angelo, went on to be wherever it is that we go when we die a few days ago. And everybody rolled out their commemoration post or whatever and whatnot, and Tyler posted to his story, I guess, honoring, commemorating D'Angelo and the influence that D'Angelo had on his music. And we'll get to that part in a little bit later on. But what wound up happening, and I might be piecemealing the story a little bit here, but what wound up happening is that a certain contingent of Tyler the Creator fans, and y'all who are around for, the beginnings of, y'all who remember Loiter Squad, you know what I mean? Y'all who remember Odd Future, Wolfgang, Kill 'Em All, you know what I mean? Y'all who remember that know what I'm talking about when I say, it's that certain contingent of Tyler the Creator fans. From what I could gather, didn't really say or do anything outright disrespectful to D'Angelo or D'Angelo's legacy itself. But, the comments in the post that they were leaving on that post, was stuff like, jokes about when Tyler was going to drop his next album, stuff that, was just generally dismissive of the topic at hand, right? And a lot of people took issue with that, and for very understandable reasons took issue with that. Among those people were Tyler himself. Evidently, somebody had, and again, I'm piecemealing this thing here because I don't have the patience to really, delve into this thing like this. But somebody had tweeted talking about how, Tyler's audience doesn't know, a combination of don't know and don't care, you feel me, for or about black music, which is not a lie. You understand what I'm saying? Evidently, Tyler had called them, I forget what he called, but basically some version of Chalkazoid. Basically, calling out, the edgy white contingent of his core audience that, if we just going to keep it solid, is what made him relevant 10 years ago. And that's kind of what we're going to get into here. And of course, the internet being the internet, because Tyler liked the tweet, I don't know if I mentioned that part or not, but because Tyler liked the tweet, the internet being the internet, hold on, let me fix this. The internet being, again, City of Trent, get these damn roads fixed, Jesus Christ. The internet being the internet decided to dig up, 10-year-old tweets that Tyler made that can be and honestly should be interpreted as being anti-black, right? First of all, let me address that part itself right quick. Is one thing I hate is when niggas, dig up shit from a lifetime ago to try and to, discredit the point that you're trying to make. Like, could you imagine, dog, somebody pulling up something that you said or that you did when you were 17, 18, 19 years old? You dig what I'm saying? Come on, dog. I'm at my big age, you feel me? However old Tyler is, 30 something or whatever and whatnot. You understand what I'm saying? And this just goes in general. I hate when niggas do that, but specifically when it comes to Tyler, right? And this is kind of what I wanted to get into, right? So I understand Tyler's frustration, right? Because really, Tyler's frustration is not dissimilar from the same kind of frustration that, honestly, that we've seen a lot of black artists, a lot of black creatives voice with the white portions of their audience. We saw a few years ago where No Name literally said that she would stop performing, you feel me, if she would come out and see it was nothing but white folks. You know what I mean? No niggas out to see her. She wasn't going to mess with it. We just saw I did the video a couple days ago, Benny the Butcher talking about, the problem with the rap game, the problem with the culture is that, it's no longer for the streets. And like I said before, I don't think that he was talking literally or explicitly about, you feel me, the streets as in, street niggas. What he was talking about, if you ask me, you feel me, is niggas who don't love the game, niggas who are not a part of the culture, now crowning themselves, you feel me, the authority on the culture just because, you feel me, they can quote Eminem's discography by heart. You dig what I'm saying? But anyway, I digress. When it comes to Tyler specifically, though, man, so how can I put this in a way? My problem with Tyler, even to this day, has always been that Tyler has this nasty habit, right? One thing about Tyler, dog, is that he cannot make the argument. He cannot say that he does not love being a celebrity, or at the very least that he does not enjoy the privilege of celebrity. He made a whole ass album about that. Didn't he? Call Me If You Get Lost. You feel me? Was about, living that lavish, luxurious lifestyle and then ultimately, feeling empty when you have nobody to share it with. If I'm interpreting that album correctly, I'm sure there'll be some Tyler stans, you feel me, in the comments, well, actually in a way. But Tyler has this nasty habit again of trying to have his cake and eat it too, right? Is that I've always felt like Tyler felt like he did not need to. Okay, so I'll put it like this. Tyler enjoys the privileges of fame, but at the same time wants to move like a private citizen. You know what I mean? At the same time wants to move like, his words and his actions don't have, repercussions beyond just him. You feel me? Like Tyler has this habit of dealing with his bullshit in private, which kudos to him for that. But then he don't ever want to address, you feel me, the implications that bullshit has beyond just himself. You think what I'm saying? So this gets into the whole Flower Boy discussion, right? Is that I've said this before, outside of maybe Snoop Doogity Dog, as some of the older folk in my life like to call him. And outside of Snoop Doogity Dog, I don't think that there is a single artist who has had, matter of fact, I'll say Tyler's, the reclamation of his public image, you feel what I'm saying? The reinvention that Tyler has made, you feel me, as the LGBTQ hip hop flag bearer in a lot of ways. Nobody could have predicted that. Nobody could have saw that coming when Yonkers came out. I promise you, nobody saw that coming. You dig what I'm saying? But that's kind of what I want to talk about, right? Is because, again, if you remember so And this leads me into a little bit of a tangent, right? I got a short boy coming out. I don't know if I'm a publish it on this channel or on the main joint, right? Where I talk about Redman, right? And the reason why I wanted to make that is because, and I will die on this hill, is one of my die on the hill hip hop takes is that if if Eminem were black, he'd be Redman. You feel me? And part of the reason why I'm willing to die on that hill is because I've grown to the point now where I'm so confident in that take that I will use it as a litmus test for whether niggas is or really not in it like that. You know what I mean? Because heads that know will hear that take. And even if they don't agree with it, they'll say, all right, I see what you cooking. I see where you going with that, right? Matter of fact, a lot of niggas would take that as a compliment. M himself would take that as a compliment. You dig what I'm saying? But then niggas who don't know, niggas again who think that they know hip hop just because they know Eminem's discography, front, back, side to side, over, under, sideways, down, you feel me, will take that as an insult and then try to, well, actually you to death. You dig what I'm saying? Which brings me back to Tyler, right? Because niggas will make this argument, and I hate this so much, that, they'll try to justify, Tyler's bullshit, specifically his anti-blackness, from back in the day as, black people never accepted Tyler anyway. Black people never, nigga, shut up with that. It wasn't that. So here's the thing, and this is why I bring up Redman, is that Redman was also, that's what made him unique. That's what separated him, is that edgelord brand of humor, right? The difference is that Redman's type of edgy humor was targeted at niggas. You know what I mean? Tyler was targeting a specific type of person with his brand of hashtag dark humor. You dig what I'm saying? Redman, this is what Redman would do. Redman would say something like, I'm gonna cut Michael Myers' head off and put it in a pickle jar. You dig what I'm saying? He'll say some off the wall shit like that. You feel me? I'll chop your dick off and eat it. You feel me? Like Kobayashi or some shit. You dig what I'm saying? Then he'll turn around and say, I'm a rob a nigga. I'm getting ready to rob a nigga because my advance check bounced. That's the type of stuff that was something that Redman would say, right? Tyler, on the other hand, and this is an actual bar, by the way, Tyler would say shit like, I fucked a pregnant bitch, call it a threesome. That's an actual bar, dog. And that's the type of edgelord humor that niggas is not rocking with. And Tyler is not stupid. Tyler knew that. Tyler don't get enough credit, especially back then, did not get enough credit for his ability to market and his ability to brand. You dig what I'm saying? And there was a specific type of edgy white boy that he was targeting himself at. And even back then, I felt in a lot of ways it was because he wasn't confident enough in his pen to not rely on, you feel me, the shock humor. But he also knew that audience really couldn't care less. They just wanted to hear somebody, say some off the wall shit that'll make them feel like, the special little unique snowflakes that they are. You understand what I'm saying? For enjoying stuff that'll make their mom cringe. You dig what I'm saying? Now, again, the issue isn't necessarily, in my opinion, with, Tyler's edgelord phase, right? The issue is that Tyler, I feel like, never properly addressed the ramifications of that, right? Tyler just kind of moved on from it and expected everybody else. He said it in Chromacopia, I think. He said, "You'll pull up my old tweets, pull up my old whatever, you feel me? I'm just going to walk right over it." Like, nigga, that ain't how that worked. You understand what I'm saying? And I just feel like part of Tyler's problem has always been that he's felt like he's been above it all. And now he's seeing, you feel me, this is what happens when you don't nip that shit in the bud and say, all right, I'm moving in this direction, right? Either y'all going to get with me or y'all going to move away. But whatever the case may be, I'm moving in this direction. This is what happens when you try to have your cake and eat it too, is that you leave too much room for ambiguity. And then niggas use that as an excuse to hold on to old Tyler. You dig what I'm saying? I feel like in a lot of ways, this is what M was trying to do with the death of Slim Shady. You feel me? But the problem with that album is that, one, it came way, way too late. And two, it just, I don't feel like the concept really hit home the way that M was attempting to make it hit home. You feel me? Tyler never did that. Again, he just came out on stage one day and said, you know, I'm a fucking homosexual. And again, considering Tyler's history and Tyler's sense of humor, you'd be forgiven because I thought it was a joke. You feel me? I just thought that it was because that was Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator would joke around and play around like that back in the day. So, and a part of me feels like he knew that. And that's why he did that like that. You know what I mean? So that he wouldn't have to address all of the times, you know, he dropped F slurs and all the, you know, the homophobic bars, and so that he wouldn't ever have to properly address that. You dig what I'm saying? That it could just be left up to interpretation like that. And then people with, you know, a little bit of sense could just put the pieces of the puzzle together and say, oh, okay, this nigga is gay. That's why he was saying all that stuff, is that he don't hate gay people. He hate himself for being gay. Oh, okay. You feel me? He got some anti-blackness going on with him. But again, you always gonna have them niggas in your audience who either because they're too stupid to get it or because they don't want to get it because they want an excuse to hold on to the bullshit version of you. That you got to address them niggas directly and say, no, I'm not on that type of time no more. And Tyler has never done that. So I don't know, dog. To me, I just kind of give a side eye to the whole situation because I'm like, dog, you kind of had to predict that this was coming, right? You kind of had to see that this was coming, right? Like, so yeah, man, again, I get it. I get the frustration. You know what I mean? As a black creative myself, I get the frustration of when the non-black portion of your audience is willfully ignorant of, you know, when you start talking about black stuff. Like, they ain't trying to get it. They don't want to get it. You feel me? They just here for the vibes. They just here, you feel me, for good. Like, I get, like, admittedly, I don't have nearly that kind of issue as some other folk. Like, I be having conversations with some other folk and I be like, dog, I don't see how you do it. You feel me? I would be cussing niggas out every single day if I had to put up with what you had to put up with. So I'm blessed in that department, but it still happens and it still aggravates me. It still pisses me off. You understand what I'm saying? Again, ignorance is one thing, but to be willfully so, that's the thing that makes me dislike you. You know what I mean? When you don't want to learn and you don't want to do better. So I get Tyler's frustration from that angle. But at the same time, and again, this is just my opinion, I don't feel, again, considering that this is Tyler the Creator that we're talking about, the nigga who made Goblin. You feel, who made that album. You feel, the nigga whose brand was built on edgy white boy humor. You dig what I'm saying? And now he wants to get upset. Now he wants to get pissy because that portion of his audience still moves and acts like edgy white boys, never grew out of that, and he never addressed that portion of his audience. I don't know, dog. It just kind of, it feels in a lot of ways like talking out of both sides of your mouth, if you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. I'm not Papoose, nigga. Damn it.